showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I'm your host, Tommy. And guys, Buffalo Bills football is back this weekend, Halloween weekend against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay coming to Buffalo, which they have never won. They have never beat Buffalo in Buffalo. That is interesting, man, right? For as long as Green Bay's been around, they never beat Buffalo in Buffalo. Wow. But anyways, Green Bay, yikes, they're looking bad. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the trade deadline, which is next week. Trade deadline next week. I believe it's on Tuesday at 4, if I'm not mistaken. And there is two interesting names that are popping up as far as running back goes. You got Kareem Hunt, and you got Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, right? The Las Vegas Raiders, not the Oakland Raiders that I almost said, by the way, but it's just because I'm so used to them being in Oakland. Okay, so interesting. So I saw a couple polls on Twitter, and it looked like people are leaning towards Josh Jacobs. If the Bills, who should the Bills go after? And it looks like Bills Mafia is leaning towards Josh Jacobs. That would be their selection if they had their say. And I'll tell you what, I'm on that boat too. I think Josh Jacobs would be a good addition. But I wouldn't hate either one. I got to be honest with you. And by the way, I love Devin Singletary, and I would hope that Zach Moss is traded away. Like, if we do make a trade, I hope he is for a running back. Okay, I hope he's dealt. I do, because he is not at least in this system, a reliable RB2 or 3, in my opinion. And that sucks, because I really wanted him to work out. I did, but it's not. And when something's not working out, it's time to move on, as they say, or you just are stuck with the guy that gives you nothing, and you keep on having to, put him on the bench, which is useless. So Josh Jacobs, he is on his, he's on his last year of his contract, because they did not pick up his 5th year option, which is interesting, but they didn't. And we didn't pick up Devin Singletary's either. So he's also going to be a free agent after this season. So very interesting. So Josh Jacobs would be on his rookie deal, right? Cheap. You can get a cheap deal there. And you don't have to commit to him, right? So after this year, you can just let him walk, right? Draft another running back, or re-sign Devin Singletary if Devin Singletary is willing to come back on a team-friendly deal, which I wouldn't mind, because I love Devin Singletary, actually. I do. I love everything he does for this team. But do we need a beast of a running back? I would love it, of course. And I'm not saying Devin Singletary isn't a good running back. Once again, I think he is a good running back. I do. And by the way, I will say this too. Getting a stud running back right now, I don't know if we'll make a world of difference in our running game, because our offensive line, I believe, ranks 28th in run blocking. It's not good, right? So, okay, you get a stud running back in here, is going to give you what, right? He's going to give you a little bit more juice to the running game, but how much more, right? So I don't want to give too much up for a running back, right? You don't want to give too much up. Now, what would the Raiders want for Josh Jacobs, right? Because whatever team's going to get him, more than likely, he'll be a rental. More than likely, unless they're willing to give him a 5th year option or whatever. I don't know if that could be done. I believe it can, but I'm not sure. or give him the contract extension when they trade for him, which is possible. Maybe a team loves him, right? Enough to do that. I don't know, right? But in Buffalo's case, I don't think they do that, right? I think they would trade for him and just let him walk after the season, because I believe if they got Christian McCaffrey, they would have done the same thing. They weren't going to eat that contract. But I'll tell you what, Josh Jacobs this year, he's having a good season, man. 633 yards rushing on 111 attempts, 5.7 average. I mean, when he touches the ball, he's getting almost 6 yards a carry, man. That's really good. It's really, really good. I wouldn't hate it. 6 touchdowns. That's not bad, man. That is not bad. In 2021, he had 217 attempts for 872 yards, 4 yards average. So he dropped a little bit there. 2020, 273 attempts, 1,065, 3.9 average. So not the best average of 2020 either, but he had 12 touchdowns. In 2019, 242, 1,150, 4.8, and 7 touchdowns. That was his rookie season. He had a really good rookie season. But I mean, across the board, right now, 4.4 average. I think Devin Singletary's at 4.6, if I'm not mistaken, career. They're very close. Very close. 3,720 rushing yards for his career so far. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, Kareem Hunt, if you want to go Kareem Hunt on his stats, so he's only rushed for 1,000 yards once in his career in 2017. In 2018, he did 800. 2019, 179. 2020 with Cleveland as well. He did 841, 386, 2021. And right now he's up to 263 with 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. In his career, he's 4.6 average per run and touchdowns 31. So listen, if you trade for Kareem Hunt, I believe on his contract, it's his last year. So once again, another player you don't have to keep on to the next season, right? You can just let him walk. But I believe we would have to owe him for the rest of his deal for this year. And I have to check on that, but I believe it would be like a couple mil, I believe, or more. I have to check on that, and I'm not sure on the clause on the if Cleveland eats his contract or not, or most of his contract. That I don't know. I wish I had the answer for that right now. But either guy I wouldn't hate. I got to be honest with you, because Kareem Hunt is a power back that has speed, right? And what are we missing in the red zone? We are missing that power back with speed, right? Or at least the power back side. We thought Zach Moss would be the answer. Clearly, he is not the answer, right? So we need that. We haven't had that. I'll be honest with you. Listen, we haven't had that kind of back since, now I'm talking about backup, red zone kind of work. Just an RB2 since Carlos Williams. And Carlos Williams, listen, his rookie year was phenomenal. Yeah, I think he had like 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns for a year. I think he had 6 straight touchdowns. I think it was a record for a rookie running back. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we haven't had that forever, right? And like I said, Carlos Williams was probably the last back we had that was that RB2 different pace running back, right? And now, listen, I would say if we bring in Josh Jacobs, he is not really a power back, but he has a little bit of it. He would be more of the speed back, the every down back that probably would take Devin Singletary's role, to be honest with you, if we did get Josh Jacobs. And then Singletary would probably be more of the RB2, in my opinion, if they got Josh Jacobs. If they got Kareem Hunt, I think it would be more Singletary RB1, but I could also see Hunt getting a lot more playing time than, let's say, right now, a James Cook or a Zach Moss is getting, right? Because Zach Moss is giving you nothing. And James Cook, right now, he's limited, right? Because he has to build on his lower body. He has to gain some muscle, gain some weight, right? And he's still getting familiar with the game, right? I think the game's a little bit too fast for him right now. Has to slow down. Hasn't slowed down yet. And maybe that time will come, but I don't know if that time will come this season. So it would be great to have an RB2 like a Kareem Hunt who could come in here who's been there, done that, right? He's a vet. He still has some juice in the tank. Obviously, you see what he does in Cleveland. He had a nice game over the weekend. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I wouldn't mind the two guys at all. Either guy wouldn't upset me if we traded for either one. I prefer Josh Jacobs, to be honest with you, right? Because of that every down kind of, he would be the lead role. He would give you a little bit more than Devin Singletary. But maybe even it would be a split plays maybe between him and Devin, possibly. But we would still kind of be missing that red zone. And that's where I'm like, on the fence, because then you got Kareem Hunt, who would be that red zone, right? So I'm kind of torn. I'm leaning towards Josh Jacobs if I have my pick, right? Only because of the rookie contract, right? I think he gives you a little bit more youth, a little bit more speed. I get a little bit more passing out the backfield, right? Like he's passing back. He can give you a little bit more, but Kareem Hunt wouldn't be bad either. Like I said, man, he has that power. He has that red zone work, man. And he's a tough dude to take down, man. But it's just all about his contract. I don't know what his remaining contract. The Bills would have to pay him. Other than that, he'd be a free agent after this year. You can just let him walk. So either guy, I would be totally cool with, honestly. And also, it depends on what we're giving up. Like, what would Cleveland want, right? What would be fair? You know, I'm not trying to listen. I'll tell you right now. First, forget it. A second, forget it. A third, maybe. Honestly, a third, maybe. You know, but Brandon Beane's very picky on his draft picks. Very picky. So you would really have to be sold on these guys to probably trade away a third round pick. I'll be honest with you. But we'll see. Maybe he does. But trade deadline is creeping up next week. Me personally, if they don't get a running back, I'm still cool with it. I think Devin Singletary can do, is good enough for this season. I do. I believe that, especially with the offensive line that we have currently. Just saying. If they're going to make a trade, I would like to see some depth, maybe some offensive line, which is very hard. I get it. A lot of teams are stingy. They're not trying to trade away their offensive linemen, but there's some bad teams right now out there. And if they're trying to rebuild, maybe Brandon Beane can get, an offensive lineman. I'm talking about, and listen, I'm talking about depth, right? I'm not talking about a starting offensive lineman, right? I'm talking about just a good depth piece you can add, right? There's guys out there, believe it or not, that I'm sure that teams are willing to trade, that are good rotational guys. Also, I wouldn't mind some corner help, even though Trey's coming back, and I get it. We're kind of loaded right now. I still listen. Christian Benford's back, but his hand's still a little swollen. You saw it last week, or the week we played, week 6. You never know what happens. And I'm not talking about a starting corner to trade for. I'm talking about depth, right? I wouldn't mind a safety, right? Another safety coming in. I'm talking about depth, right? Also, even though this isn't a trade, I wouldn't mind if they figure out the Odell Beckham Jr. situation. They got to figure a way to sign this guy, unless he's trying to get paid. If he's trying to get paid, maybe a team like Green Bay is going to give him a contract for 2-3 seasons, and Buffalo's not going to do that. If Buffalo gets OBJ, it's going to be a veteran type contract, right? Vet minimum, somewhere around there. And is this going to be for one season, this season? And is he willing to take it? If I'm Odell, I do it. Why? Because if you come in, you contribute, and you win a Super Bowl, it raises your value. And then you go into the offseason, and then you get paid, right? Look at Von Miller. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if OBJ didn't get injured in the Super Bowl, he probably would have got paid. And he would be on a team right now. It wouldn't be us, because we don't have the money. We signed Von Miller. We signed a bunch of guys, actually. But Von Miller took away a lot of that money, right? And then we used the rest on a lot of good players, but a lot of those players are only on 1-year deals, right? 1 year, 2 year. We did some extensions, right? Dawson Knox, right? We still got some money that we have to pay Jordan Poyer, right? Tremaine Edmonds, right? We got Gabe Davis coming up. So, listen, OBJ signing for long-term ain't happening here, but I'd be willing to give him the vet minimum to come here, do what he has to do, and go get paid somewhere else. Be smart on his side. But listen, I understand money's money. But anyways, guys, that's where I'm going right now with this trade talk with the running backs. I'll probably shoot another video on other players that are out there that are being thrown out there as far as trade bait goes. And we'll talk. But anyways, guys, tonight, 9 o'clock, Mafia Sports Report goes live. I am back, man. I took a bye week. I was so spent, guys. I needed a bye week, just like the Buffalo Bills. I did. Needed a bye week because I was mentally drained, man. I was doing 7-8 hours of podcasts a week. And yeah, man, I was just done, man. I was done. And I'm glad I got a little break. But I'm back. And I'm going to start doing more videos like this for you guys too, man. Start doing some shorter videos, putting them out there. And man, you know what? 16 minutes. They ain't that short, but short enough. Anyways, guys, go Bills. I'm out. Peace. Bills Mafia #1. I'm out of here. Peace.